Hi, this is Chef George coming from the Wheel Room. Today we are making Spanakopitas or Spanakopitas. And what we start with is you want to get yourself a pack of phyllo dough. And they sell this in the frozen section at Giant Eagle. You want to take this out 24 hours in advance from the time that you want to use it. And it's best to leave this refrigerate and defrost under refrigeration, because it's really flaky and it breaks and it's really brittle. So first what we're going to do is we gather the ingredients. We're going to take an onion. We're going to set it up to dice it. The spinach we already have here in a bowl with some of the onions, and it's chopped and it's been drained and all the liquid's been squeezed out. So what we're doing is we're going to dice up the onion. And this recipe that I'm making calls to make 27. Depending on the size that you make, you can get more or less. With the first batch that I made, we got 4 out of 6 sheets, and I'll show you what that is coming up here in a few seconds. So we take the onion, we're going to add it to our spinach right here, and from here we're going to take this down to the saute. Alright, here we are. We've got a medium-sized saute pan. We want to get the flame good and hot. It takes about a couple minutes to heat it up. And what we're going to do is, once the pan gets hot, we're going to add some olive oil to the mix. Just a little bit. You don't want too much because you don't want to add any more liquid to the spinach and the onions, because otherwise it'll become watery again, and that'll be, it can be fixed by, we're going to add flour to this. By adding the flour, it's going to tighten it up. So once the pan's hot, we take the onion and spinach, and we put it in here about medium-high heat. We just want to kind of cook the onions a little bit, make them translucent with the spinach. Okay, we're going to add the flour now that we've had 10 minutes has gone by with the onions and spinach. And what this is doing is, in a sense, is making like a roux with the olive oil or butter if you choose to use in it. And it's going to take all the extra liquid out of the spinach if there's any left in there. And it's also going to, you want to cook it for about 10 minutes. Cooking it 10 minutes takes the flourness out of the roux, so it doesn't taste like raw flour. And once it's cooked, we're going to shut this off. Okay, now that we've taken this off the heat, the spinach and onion mix, we're going to pour it in here. And then we're going to set this aside because we're done with this. And next, we're going to take the feta cheese. We're going to take, this is already pre-crumbled from the grocery store. We're going to chop it up a little bit. That way it all kind of melts nicely once you put it in with the spinach mix. And we're just going to clean up our cutting board here a quick second because we're going to work right on this. And we've already added 2 beaten eggs to the mix. This is more of a, eggs are more of a binder, an enrichment type of item that we're adding to it. And that's the mix right there. We've already added salt and pepper. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take in the phyllo dough, and what you want to do is you want to carefully unwrap this, very carefully, because you can see it's very, very flaky. And what you want to do is carefully work with the sheets, taking two sheets off at a time, or thereabouts, to your dry working area. Now, if you should end up with 3, that'll be alright. Now what we're going to do is we take in melted butter, and we're going to brush each of the 2 layers we put down for a total of 6 layers. So we're going to do this 3 times total, and then the top layer we're going to fill with the stuffing. Okay, we've taken and got our 3 sets of 2 layers of the phyllo dough. It's brushed with butter. We're going to take and close this up now. You just want to carefully wrap it back up. And sometimes you can put a moist towel either over it while it's laying out. That way it keeps it damp and it doesn't dry out. Next, we're going to take and scoop out some of our spinach and cheese mix for this. And on this, you can probably get 5 or 6. It's just the plate. It depends on how big you want them. these are a great appetizer for the fall here and going through the holiday parties. If you have little functions at your house, everybody says, oh, they do take a little bit of time to make, but if you make your own, they're very much well worth it in taste. So, all right, we're going to make 4 out of this. You can probably make 6. And then what you do is you take a knife and you score down through. And you want to make 4 lines for the 4 cuts. Try keeping about the same size. Again, if you wanted something smaller for your party, you might want to do 6 of these. Do 6 triangles per sheet. I'm doing just 4. These will be a little bit bigger than an appetizer size, but we're going to take it and put it over here. I'm going to brush it with butter because this is what's going to get it golden brown. This is also what keeps it together. Okay, we're just finishing up these now. This is the 4 I was working on a few seconds ago. Going to get them all brushed up so they turn out nice and golden brown. And from here, we're going to follow me to the oven. So, come on down. All right, here we are. We're going to put them in our convection oven. Set 350 degrees. We're going to put them in. It takes about, it says 45 to an hour on the sheet. This is a convection oven, so it cooks a little bit faster. We're in a restaurant setting, so it does speed things up. And once they're done, they'll come out of the oven. Look at just like this. Beautiful golden brown. Ready to be served. Just like this as an appetizer. Okay, now that we have them out of the oven, we want to let them cool down before we serve them to your guests. You can take and serve them. The smaller ones would be more for finger food. This size, what you can take and do is you can take it and take like a 9-inch plate and take and do like a roasted red pepper puree, which is nothing more than roasting a few peppers off, or taking a can of roasted red peppers, draining them, putting them in the food processor or blender, throwing a little bit of cream and put it on the stove, and just make a quick sauce, a little bit of salt and pepper. Put that down on the plate, and you can serve it with this, and you can take a little bit of fresh spinach and wilt it in a little bit of boiling water, and kind of garnish it if you want to do a sit-down appetizer with the Spanakopitas.